Jason, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What is your take on the pitch, and you think toss will be crucial on this pitch?
Yeah, it's an interesting pitch. Obviously, it's very dry. I've been here, since I've been here, there've been the fans on, which we've all seen. So obviously it's very dry, not a lot of grass on it. So we probably expect it to favour the slower bowlers, yeah. Yeah, look, the toss is the toss. We'll just, whatever we do when we win the toss, we'll just have to do it well. I think both teams will have that mindset. It's a 50-50 call, so you always want it to go your way. But yeah, we'll see.
Have you finalised your team yet? No.
We have, but I've just been told I'm not allowed to release it yet because it's being announced later.
And my question is how important it is for the coach to work individually on each player. Because I remember 30 years back when you were here with the Australian Cricket Academy team.
Right.
I saw Rod Marsh working with you at Nets.
Yep.
So how important it is for a head coach especially to work individually with each member of the team?
Oh, I think you communicate with your players regularly, talking about their games and how we can help them improve and be better and better cricketers and people. I'm very fortunate, got a wonderful support staff who have developed some really good relationships with our players, and players will gravitate towards certain coaches over others at times. But if you all work as a team, that's the most important thing. And I feel very fortunate that I've got such a wonderful support staff who certainly helped me out. And yeah, but we forge those relationships with players. We try to create an environment that's a safe space for them to speak freely and be open and honest, and that learning environment. So that's just something that I certainly strive to do, and our support staff is the same.
Afternoon, Dizzy. This is Behram Kazi from Pro Sports.
Good afternoon.
So, after the Bangladesh series, we were told that Pakistan was looking to build a stock of pace bowlers.
Yep.
And in the second test, we saw 3 spinners in Noman
Yep.
Ali, Sajid Khan, and Zahid Mahmood. You also have Mehran Mumtaz in your ranks right
Yep.
now. So, how do you see that stock of spin bowlers progressing now? And considering that Zahid bowled just 6 overs in the previous game, can we expect Mehran to debut?
You're going to have to wait until the team's released. I'm not a selector, so I'm probably not the person to ask. But look, really pleased with how the spinners bowled in the last game. I know Zahid didn't get much of an opportunity, and that was more through circumstance. Noman and Sajid bowled so well. But look, I was told when I first took on this job that there wasn't a lot of spin in the country, but I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think there is a lot of spin options. So you mentioned those guys. I think they're fine young men. They're very good spinners. They're continually evolving, continually developing. Young Mehran, he's a great kid. He's learning all the time. Hasn't played heaps of first-class cricket, but he's certainly a player that has a future in international cricket, and it'll just come down to opportunity. It's just about players staying patient, putting performances on the board, and then leave the selectors to do their job and pick them as they see fit.
Any update on Abrar Ahmed's health?
No update. I know he was unwell the first test. So, his health is the most important thing. So hopefully, he's feeling a bit better. I know I messaged him and just checking on him, and he's feeling a bit better. But yeah, it was obviously a blow for him to go down with an illness. And as I said, his health is just of paramount importance, more than anything, more than cricket or anything. His health's important. Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, mate.
Watching from afar, it felt like Pakistan's preparation for the series was a bit chaotic, maybe, and after the first test, kind of pressed the randomiser button again. So what would the impact be of a series win against quite high-profile opponents in terms of the immediate future for this team?
Oh, look! Obviously, any any win is great. Any series win's fantastic. Particularly, I suppose the last few years, Pakistan's Test cricket probably hasn't been where we'd like it to be. So any win is great. For me, just coming into this environment is, I as a coach, I'm very protective of players. They're the ones going out and representing their country and playing, and I'm kind of a bit, I suppose it's the dad in me that comes out, and I want to protect all the boys from all outside noise and whatever. And I think we're doing that quite well as a support staff. Just making sure we're focusing on the right things at the right time, and the right things are our preparation, the things we can control. There's a lot of things that in professional sport that you can't control, so to be able to just park that and not focus on that is a skill within itself. So focusing on what we can control, the right things at the right times, staying calm amongst, when things are all happening. And as I said just before, when the way England play, they look to create things all the time. And, the way we want to go against them is by staying calm and not getting flustered. And I thought we did that really well in the last Test match. So I was really proud of the boys. Obviously, with the surface we played on, it was a very good spectacle for the public to watch. It was a challenging Test match for both teams, and it was a good spectacle for the public to watch. It was going from the first Test, which was very much batting dominated, to a spin dominated Test. It was entertaining for the fans. So yeah, but just making sure we're focusing on the right things is the key.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, George.
Going to ask, we were watching ahead of the second Test what seemed to be quite a lot of animated conversations on the square there involving you. I was going to ask, how on side were you, or did you need convincing about what seemed to be a fairly drastic change of approach before that Test and into this one?
Look, the PCB came out and made some changes after that Test match, and it was decided that a new selection panel would come in and they would be making decisions. So I was not involved in the decision making, George. So I was just there to. I'm now just the coach on match day strategy. So I just keep out of things now and just focus on the players and getting them ready for cricket.
Jason, 2 of England's 3 frontline spinners are relatively inexperienced. Is that something you guys feel you can exploit?
Yeah, we've spoken about that. How we can, I suppose, get the best out of our batting against and put them under pressure. Which we feel can be important, because England are going to rely heavily on spin in this Test match, and it sounds like we're probably going to do something similar, without giving too much away. But look, we know that while they may not necessarily be experienced, they're very good bowlers, and you must respect that. I've always said, ignore youth at your peril. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And experience, yes, has a lot of value, no question about that, but there's no reason why players that don't have 100 Test matches next to their name can't have an impact. So you just need to respect what they can do. And England have got 2 young spinners in the early stages of their career, and they've got Leachy, who's obviously a much more experienced bowler. So they've got good options, and we need to just make sure we're at our very best. Our batters are really clear on what their plans are, with all the discussions that they're having, and we just have to go out there and play each ball on its merits, and hopefully we can put the England bowlers under pressure and post up some really good totals in this Test match.
Thanks, Jason. Just to pick back up on the selection thing, you said you're just now a match day coach. That's not necessarily the job you signed up to. In an ideal world, would the people who are sort of at the sharp end, you and the captain have a say?
Look, it's not for me to talk about now. I'm not a selector. I'm match day strategist as head coach, and I'm all about the players. So my focus is on the players. I'll let the selectors do their job, and we'll just go out there and play the best cricket we can possibly play. I'm getting splinters in my ass for sitting on the fence here.
Hi, Jason.
Hey, mate.
Last week, the dates for the next Ashes series came out. I just wondered how you thought England were travelling ahead of that.
I was only saying today to someone that in my time in cricket, obviously playing against England in my playing career and that, I'm not sure if I've seen a more relaxed, happy environment from an England squad. They look like they're having a lot of fun. They look like they're all aligned. I still think Australia is a pretty tough assignment. There's not many teams that go there and dominate Australia. So I think it's a big mountain to climb. But I think we know how England are going to approach the Ashes. They're not going to die wondering. I think they'll go out there with a pretty aggressive attitude and mindset. But I certainly, think with the Australian side, I think they've got a lot of bases covered and would probably start favourites. But as I said, England have got nothing to lose. Everyone will assume Australia will come out on top, and that probably works in England's favour because they can just go out there and play and be positive and try to ruffle a few feathers.
Harry Brick's obviously done very well in Pakistan.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, in that second test, did you feel that the spinners sort of exposed some potential vulnerabilities there and showed how to bowl to him?
Oh, I hope so. Because he's a fine player. There's no question of that. We managed to be able to get him out cheaply in both innings. Particularly after him scoring so many runs in the first test. It was really nice to see the back of him for not many runs. But look, he's a fine player, and he's still. You got to remember, he's still pretty early in his career. He's played 20 Test matches, so he's still a baby in the greater scheme of things. He'll have a long career for England. There's no doubt about that. He'll work things out in all conditions. The good players tend to do that. They adjust and adapt, learn from each and every game, and that's certainly something that. I'm trying to instill in our players is, each day we play Test cricket is an opportunity to learn something and get better and improve, and we're certainly working towards that, and I'm seeing that, and I'm really energised by that with our team. Just the learning, and I talked about being calm in all sorts of in many different situations that can crop up in Test cricket. So yeah.